Welcome back, guys. It's not Daddy, it's Papa.
You said that right this time, right?
What?
Yeah,
No,
okay.
that was
It's
right.
not
Why did you
daddy.
like hesitate?
No, I mean we said it wrong so many
Oh,
times that like
oh, okay, my bad. We are back. What episode is this?
10,
11?
10.
I don't know. Maybe 10. It is our 10th episode. Yay. Are we happy? Do you want to show any
I'm
sort of
really,
emotion?
really thrilled that this is the 10th episode where for some reason I thought of this countdown. I was thinking of it as a countdown and it reminded me of Drake. And
That is not a good thing to be reminded of.
I was thinking of Drake's countdown to Millie Bobby Brown's 18th and
Oh.
how his career still stands for whatever
Does
reason,
it still
which
stand
reminded
after
me
the
of
halftime
Kendrick
show?
Lamar's Super Bowl. I wanted to know what did you think? Did you watch the Super Bowl?
Okay, I watched
Are
only the
you an active
halftime
Super
show.
Okay.
And it was after the halftime show because I was working during the halftime show. Um, and I watched it. You're gonna solely because pause. I know the guy who did the lighting design for the Super Bowl,
Oh, right.
so that's the only reason I watched it.
Okay. But do you have any thoughts on this Kendrick
I
Lamar
don't
Drake?
get it. I don't know what's the song is catchy.
They not like us. Wait, is that Drake or Kendrick?
How old is he? 5-year-old brother has been singing "Not Like Us." It's so funny. I
That's
was with them
adorable.
yesterday and they were singing "Not Like Us."
I really love that.
And
So
I
I
was
used
like,
to be a
that's
Drake. I
hilarious.
used to be a Drake fan
We know.
before I found out he was a creep.
Sure.
I still bump Drake sometimes. I'm not gonna
Isn't he
lie.
releasing a song like tomorrow?
It's probably to get back at him for the Super Bowl, but Drake fan, but not of the music, not of the person. I don't.
Do
He's
we separate the art from the artist?
I do. Yeah, I believe in separating art from artists wholeheartedly.
For everyone, though?
Yeah,
But what if your art is intrinsically linked to who you are as an artist?
give me an example.
Um, I can't think of an example. What's her name? You know the Beatle, the Yoko Ono.
I hate her.
Okay, she's an artist, right?
Her art is not art. It's like the banana. It's like the fucking
No, but she had this piece. Did you see it where she was like let some like she just sat there like fully clothed in like the room and like there was a pair of scissors and like people could like walk up and like cut off a piece of her clothing or something. Was that Yoko Ono? You know what I'm talking about?
I don't know this at all.
Okay, there was an art exhibit of like a woman, and I think it's Yoko Ono. And the idea was that like what would you do if like you were left like if humans were left to their own devices and it was her fully clothed, like she wouldn't like whoever wouldn't fight back, and there was just a pair of scissors
That's
on
a
the
really
floor.
weird art exhibit. I don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Say something because I'm trying to search it up.
okay, I think that's weird. I don't like Yoko Ono at all. Um, Destroyed the Beatles. Not that I'm a big Beatles fan, but she did destroy them. Or you could say John destroyed the Beatles by incorporating
It's called
Yoko.
Cut
So,
Piece.
and is it by Yoko Ono?
Yes, it's a Yoko Ono
She just
piece.
wails into a microphone, and it's just horrible. They had to turn off her mic for one show. I don't remember which one. She was on a television program singing with Chuck Berry and somebody else, and they had to cut her mic because she was doing her classic. That's my Yoko impression for those of you who care. Um,
Okay, you want me to read you a little bit about this? I think it's really interesting,
Go ahead.
but it's really strange. It's called Cut Piece. That's the name of the art of the exhibit. She's performed it 6 times. Um, Based on one of her event scores, a set of instructions for her performance. Um, uh, Yono sat down on the stage, laid a pair of scissors in front of her, and invited the audience to cut off pieces of her clothing. Cut piece is understood to address materialism, gender, class, memory, and cultural identity, and has become regarded as an iconic proto-feminist work of protest art.
Am I missing something? I don't understand how that's
I don't get it. I really don't get it.
supportive in any which way.
Um, but okay, this is what it says. It says average. Okay, this is like a program that you would get if you show up to this thing. Cut piece, average time 30 minutes. First version for single performer. Performer sits on stage with a pair of scissors in front of them. It is announced that members of the audience may come to the stage one at a time to cut a small piece in the performer's clothing to take with them. Performer remains motionless throughout the piece. Piece ends at performer's option. Second version. It is announced that members of the audience may cut each other's clothing. Audience may cut as long as they want.
Okay.
And there's a lot of like on the Wikipedia article. There's a feminist reading. There's an anti-war reading. There's one about race and culture. I don't know,
There's something I'm missing. I'm sure there's a meaning to it.
probably, but I don't know.
Not a Yoko Ono fan at all.
Look, this is what it looks like.
Kind of cool, I guess.
Like she just sits there and you can cut off whatever. Like
It's
I don't know.
weird. It's just really weird.
It's very strange. I don't know. That's what like that piece of art, the reason why I brought it up is like so intrinsically tied to the artist, right? Like they are the art.
Well, it's different than music.
Well, I
Drake
meant
isn't the
like,
art when he sings.
but he's singing about his own personal experiences.
No,
It's
he's not. He's always talking about he's like, I'm gonna knock this guy. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's so many Drake lyrics where I'm like, bro, you are sitting in your mansion right now. You're not like that. You're not tough like that.
well, I don't know much about like
Mm.
you think none of it is from his personal experiences of anything? Like, isn't that half the point of
Some of it, sure, but I think a lot of well, there's one Drake lyric, high school pics, you was even bad then. I think he is tapping into his personality with that one. But you listen to a song like Virginia Beach.
okay,
Um, oh, why can't I think the words right now? Something about she thought she could do better. No way.
okay,
And he's saying like you're not gonna get better than me. Anybody could listen to that and be like, yo, facts. Like you're not gonna get better than me.
hmm
It's just it doesn't exist. It's not out there. And there's a confidence that I think in his music that anybody can tie into. However, you draw the line, and the reason why I brought up Drake, Kendrick, Yoko Ono, you brought
hmm
up, there's another elephant in the room regarding art versus artist, and Kanye West is the elephant
Oh,
in the
oh
room.
Lord,
That is the elephant in the room here. I think that's a
I
point where
didn't even
you
think about
you
that.
can't sell. There are different levels to it, um, where you really can't separate it anymore. It
Oh,
also depends on how you listen to the music. So Drake's music is nothing I've ever listened to with an emotional attachment.
hmm.
It's not like, oh wow, I really relate to this. You put it on when you're with your friends and you
But
want to
you listen to Kanye's music with an emotional attachment.
songs like Runaway or anything on
Hmm.
I can't think of the album that Runaway's on right now, and I know people would act like, oh my God, that's the biggest deal. I'm not well versed in Kanye.
Yeah.
But you listen to songs like that or songs like anything off of Graduation or any of his older stuff, yeah, it's emotional music. It's not like a lot of his older music is really tied into
So do you separate that?
you can't because his music has an emotional value,
Hmm.
which is tied to him as a person. You
So
can't
what do you
separate it
do? How do you
anymore.
move on?
You don't listen to Kanye West and you take him after what he put on his Yeezy website, which I'm not going to say. But you guys,
Hmm.
it's inexcusable. I think at that point you don't listen to Kanye anymore. I'm not a Kanye fan. I never liked Kanye, and all these people like, oh, but he made Graduation. Fucking, it wasn't that good of an album. I'm gonna say it right now. Graduation is not that great.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like. I don't think I mean, I've heard the songs obviously, but
Yeah.
like I don't know. I don't listen to his music. But I know a lot of people are very emotional. Like they're like, oh, I know exactly like what I was doing when I first listened to this song or whatever.
Mhm.
Talked to people recently, um, about that, mostly because we were trying to find a song for a show I was working on, Blood at the Root, and there's a moment in one of the scenes where this white actress who like intrinsically believes that she is culturally black has to dance off to a song, and it takes place in 2007, and it was like, what song do we put in? It was something that Kanye wrote.
Oh,
um
I do remember there was some Kanye in that
what
show.
was it? Jesus Walks, I think that's the name of the song.
What was that it? Yeah.
I don't know the lyrics. I mean, I only heard this 30-second snippet of it that we used for the show. But it was like, it's like fuck racism, like it was said in like fuck racism, like fuck whatever, or like we are like we are all human, blah blah. And that's about the point in the song where it cut off when it started repeating like Jesus walks. That's why I think that's the name of the song. Um, or Jesus likes something with
I
Jesus.
don't know enough Kanye to help out here, but I
Um,
know I know what you mean. I,
but
I
like
remember the sound of the song.
But like that was something like when that decision was made, everyone was like I know exactly like I want to put the song because it means so much to me, and I'm wondering
At that
like
point, you can't. I don't agree with that because, listen, if you put on Drake and you're like, yeah, yeah, Virginia Beach is my hype song.
hmm
Sure, he's creepy, but I don't fuck with him. I don't have any attachment to his music. It's my hype song. I think that's okay.
hmm
But when you're like, oh, Kanye's music means so much to me on such a deep level, When
Well,
Kanye is the piece of shit that he is, I don't agree with that. And then you have to separate art from the
mhm.
artist. If you're attached to it, yeah.
Well, number one, this was like months ago
Mhm.
now. Number two, it was something that was asked. Someone actually did bring it up, and they
Mhm.
were like, but he is like a bitch of a person. And I mean, in the context of the show, it takes place in 2007. Like, I don't know much about him, but like, he wasn't that way in 2007. Like he
Isn't
would have.
2007 the year that he took Taylor
I
Swift's, was it a Grammy?
what? I have no clue.
Do you remember when something was, he took a Grammy and gave it to Beyonce?
What?
He ran up on stage.
I did not. I don't know about this.
So I could be recounting it wrong because I don't remember the exact story. Taylor Swift was awarded a Grammy.
Okay.
He ran up on stage, took it from her, said, Beyonce had one of the greatest albums this year of all time, took the spotlight off of Taylor Swift, and credited Beyonce for the album that she had put out that year. So whenever somebody says Beyonce had one of the greatest albums of all time, that's the joke. Is like Kanye
Well,
ran up on stage, I think in 2007, and did that to Taylor
that's a
Swift.
Beyonce joke was to do with P. Diddy.
There's multiple Beyonce jokes, I would say
Um,
now, but
you know what I'm talking about? Where it's like you have to
I
credit
remember to thank
Beyonce.
Beyonce.
Yes.
Yeah,
Is that not a P. Diddy
I
thing?
thought that was a reference to Kanye saying that she had the greatest album of all time.
I
So,
thought this was a reference to like P. Diddy because it's like I don't know because they were friends and it has something to do with like murdering
oh, it
people.
could.
I don't know. I don't know enough about this stuff.
I don't either. We're uneducated on this. Somebody's got to fill us in.
Someone's got to fill us in the comment
Uh,
section down below, somewhere or up above
but you
or
find yourself
left, right.
separating art from artist a lot. So I like writing,
Hmm.
right? And reading and stuff. And I can't think
Oh,
of there was
Harry Potter's a great example of that.
I think the feeling I oh, this is funny because I'm going to say the same thing that somebody said about the feeling I had when I
Harry Potter's a great example of
the
it in a
J.K.
literary
Rowling
sense.
is sucks, but the feeling I had when I first read Harry Potter when I was younger, I
A
must have
lot
been
of
in the
people
fourth,
have
fifth
it.
grade. There was a magic that got me into reading that I had never felt before. And now I'm an English major who wants to make my life out of books.
Hmm.
So,
Do you think it's appropriate, knowing this about J.K. Rowling
well, I won't
now,
read the books again.
to give these books to children to read?
I think they should be able to, yeah. Because I don't believe in censoring books at all. I think everybody should be able to read everything and make what they
But
want
would
with
you
it.
like recommend this book to a child to read,
I would.
knowing that this is the author and these are the impressions that she put in this book? Because now
That's
here,
hard. That's really hard
because think
because it's,
about it, like
you know,
hearing what she has to say now and revisiting these books, people have found it's like
I
all
would. You know
sorts of
what? I
stuff,
would recommend it to a child. I'm going to tell you why.
What?
That media can still stand and say what it needs to say, even though because her behavior contradicts her own books.
That's what
Because
I'm.
the whole
Yep.
point of those books, other than the weird bank thing,
There's that bank thing. There's the thing about like the one Asian wizard
other than that stuff,
girl.
which I'm not saying it's okay, the whole point of the books is acceptance, finding your place, finding your people,
Hmm.
being different, and that's okay. And then
Weren't
she
like the bad
contra
guys modeled after like the KKK, or is that in the movie
they are.
or
Oh no, they were
something?
modeled after the ring rights from Lord of the Rings.
No, but there's something.
But
It might be only in the movie, but I remember explicitly reading this where it was like in one of the scenes where they come, they're in like black hoods and
oh,
like
that I
black
believe I know
pointy
what you're talking about,
hoods
right?
or whatever. It's like one of the scenes where they raid something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But the books
Or
stand as a
enchanted shit.
piece that goes against everything that J.K. Rowling is now. So let her media
Hmm.
stand to contradict her. I think everything should be consumed. I'm not even kidding. Like let it be there to speak for itself. I don't think I'll read them again because I've already read them all so many times. I would watch the movies again.
They're making a new series actually.
Is there a fucking need for that though?
They're
Before
making a new series that has like all how many years are they? 12 seasons for each year, like a season for each year.
I think there's 7 years.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
crazy. And they
Um,
cast a bunch of people. They haven't cast a new Harry Potter yet. I think they're not going to announce who they cast until it comes out because whoever that kid is gonna get like
a lot of criticism.
a
Well,
lot of hate for no reason. Also, the
something
fact that they're making a new one's gonna get a lot of hate, but whatever, people spend money on that.
to go back to your question of what I recommend it,
Hmm.
maybe I would, but I would recommend Lord of the Rings first. Because Harry Potter
Yeah,
is a direct ripoff of Lord of the Rings,
absolutely.
and Tolkien was not a piece of shit.
Yeah.
So,
Plus, one of them is a foundational book versus like
right,
just for
read
the
the
purpose
original.
of
Just
like teaching someone something, right? Like you wouldn't teach a book that comes like like that is built upon study, like something that is from another, like fantasies built upon Lord of the Rings and Tolkien,
Right.
and
And then the
that
other
wouldn't exist without, like, Harry
Tolkien
Potter
and
wouldn't
Lewis.
exist without
Yeah.
Tolkien.
So yeah, Tolkien and Lewis are like the founders of that genre. I have a
Hmm.
hot take about Lewis. I did not care for Narnia. That's my I didn't care for the Godfather take. I
I
did
didn't like
not care for the Narnia books. I really
Yeah,
didn't.
I don't like Narnia. It's really weird, and I don't know. I just have a bad. I think I was first exposed to the movies, and I think that left a bad taste.
Maybe. I was exposed to the books first
Or
and I
maybe I
got
was.
bored. What?
I was like, maybe I would like, read the book. Maybe I
Well,
listened to the
yeah.
book because I used to do a lot of like
Audiobooks?
audiobooks.
Right. A Boy and His Horse I got up to. Actually, I have read all of them, but by the time I got to A Boy and His Horse, which is the third or fourth out of like 8 books,
Yeah,
oh my God, I was bored. It's just really boring. I found it so incredibly boring. And
that's what you found about Les Mis,
I
too.
found Les Mis really boring. I think that Victor Hugo's a horrible author in my opinion. I'll say it, depending on the lens that you go at. So as I get older and I have more of an appreciation for
Uh-huh.
places
Yeah.
as opposed to people, which I didn't have when I read Les Mis. I was
Hmm.
16 when I read Les Mis. I didn't give a fuck about location. I wanted to know about people, and I had no emotional connection to places. I hated Les Mis because all of it is a love letter to Paris. Every little page is describing every little corner of a wall in Paris. If I was to go back at it now, I have places in my
Hmm.
life now that I could paint
Like that.
like that and describe every little place. Now it gets me choked up thinking about how he
Hmm.
writes about Paris. But in the
I
moment I was bored by
Yeah,
it.
I think there's also the story of Les Mis is really good, but
Right.
to get to the actual story, you have to read these chapters of what
Right.
is essentially context to where the story is taking place.
Correct me if I'm wrong though, you had seen the play before you read it.
No,
You just
I
read it,
actually
you
have
just
not
raw dogged
actually
it?
ever seen
Oh, okay.
seen the. I mean, I've seen the movie a billion times. I saw like an anniversary concert. I've actually never seen it live on stage.
Because
Um,
I was gonna say if I knew the story,
I
maybe
knew the story. I knew the
I would have
story.
pushed through it more. I need to know that I'm doing something for a reason.
I knew the
Reading for a
story
reason.
of it of Les Mis. And I'm sure that you actually know most of the story. Um,
Right.
through other forms of media because there was this one movie, it's a fucking Disney movie with these mice in New York that's literally a ripoff of Les Mis.
Interesting.
um but there's a lot of stuff. It's a big story, so there's definitely moments of it that you've like heard, and
Yeah.
it's been pulled out like out of context. But you could also read Les Mis without the context, without all those
I
chapters and
might do
stuff.
that one. I have so much to read, but I
There's
might eventually.
abridged versions of Les Mis that take out its individual chapters, so they're actually really simple to separate out. The thing that you don't get when you do that is you don't get the full picture of these places. You don't get why the open. I mean, you read it about him stealing the candlesticks.
Oh yeah.
You don't understand the importance of those candlesticks unless you understand the church. It's like it's a candlestick. Unless you get the full context of
Well, I understand the
three.
candlestick. The I did understand the candlesticks when I read it. I remember the candlesticks. It's just been so long now that I'm like,
Yeah, but like
does he not try
why
to steal them
he
from?
does steal them.
Yeah, okay.
Um,
And the person who's letting him stay, I don't remember who
the
allows him.
priest.
The priest allows him to get away with it.
Yeah, but the
Even
question is like candlesticks. Like to us now, they don't mean shit, right? Like, but it's like if you read the three chapters leading up to this, it's like explains you why candlesticks and especially these ones are so important. You
right.
know, like it's what it is providing you context to what's about to happen. They tell you about there's this like thing. I think the chapter is called the Gangs of Paris. Um, and there's like fucking four fucking chapters of different gangs in Paris, and it's so stupid, but
It's
it gives
meaningful.
you backstory as to who these characters are and how they ended up in this position, you know? So it's like
So
you don't need it, but
that's one of my flaws as a reader, what you're describing, and as a person.
mhm,
I have beef with contextual years.
contextualization.
Any content, even like we've talked about this on a previous episode, but like years can be contextual to what comes
Yeah.
next. I have beef with it. I'm such an impatient person that I'm like,
When is it gonna happen?
when is it gonna happen? And Jesus Christ. And I mean, we could get all into that depending on how much time we want to spend
Okay.
on how vulnerable we want to be. But I was having a conversation with my mom, and
Okay.
like, okay, I want to talk about Pete Davidson too.
Okay.
He got his tattoos removed. He went to
Oh, I
rehab, and
saw
he
that picture.
looks
He looks
good. He
gorgeous.
looks amazing, and Pete Davidson is one of my favorite people. Not because I'm like, well, we're Staten Islanders. We've said that, right? That's
Hmm.
cool. And so is he. But it's also he's a representation of like being open about
I've
men.
met him.
You have met him. Maybe if
Maybe we'll put up a picture
maybe we'll
somewhere
put up a
here.
picture. We have some turmoil with
Maybe.
that at this moment, but mm, but I like how open he is about mental health. He did what Kanye should have done about being open about mental health. Kanye was open about it and then made everyone look bad. Pete
Yeah.
Davidson did it, addiction and mental health struggles, and showed us that it's okay. Ooh, apologies. And the reason I'm bringing up Pete Davidson with contextual years is I was having this is going to be so random, and
Okay.
you don't have to respond to it. It's going to be
Okay.
like some dumping my life.
Okay. I want to hear this.
I was having a conversation with my mom, who was very intelligent. Um, and I was telling her, I was like, I'm trying out here, right? It's not
Okay.
easy, and I'm
Yeah.
trying. And she was like, well, there's two types of going through a thing.
Uh-huh.
Either you're going through these periods of contextualization with a frozen screen right now.
Oh.
It's context, trust. The frozen screen is context. You're going through periods of contextualization where you're like, okay, view it as context, it gets better. It will get better, and I'll enjoy my life eventually. Or there's another side of the coin where you're
Okay.
the type of person where you don't see an end to the tunnel. You're going
Yeah.
through it, you don't think it's ever going to get better, you don't want to get out of bed in the morning. That's called it's time to get help. So, I don't know, like this is just a
Yeah.
thing, like there's a big difference between you can't finish Les Mis because you don't see the point in reading all of it because you're so ennui about everything that you're like, oh, how funny am I? Put ennui and
Yeah.
Les Mis in the same, like, yay, haha. You're so ennui about everything that you're like, it was not funny, I know, but you can't even finish the damn book. Then it's time to get help. So that's why I also wanted to mention Pete Davidson. I'm lately, I used
Uh-huh.
to make fun of, um, not make fun of, but like look down on medication and therapy and things like that.
Hmm.
He famously said on SNL, "Listen, there's no shame in the medicine game. Go ahead,
He
Kanye.
said that.
Kanye, take those meds." He told Kanye to take his
Oh.
meds. Bro,
Because
get help.
Kanye,
It's
you
okay.
you know the thing about how Kanye like held SNL hostage.
Yes, and
Didn't I
started
tell you
saying
about
random
this?
shit on the. I
I
remember,
think
yeah.
we talked about this on a podcast episode, actually. I don't
Mhm.
remember if this was
We
like,
mentioned on the last episode,
oh, we did. Oh,
the last one we recorded.
yeah. So
Mhm.
y'all haven't seen it yet. Actually, no, they
They
did
will
see
have
it.
not seen it. We
They
haven't seen
this
it
is
yet.
the yeah, this is the episode that you guys should have watched last week. Oh, that's actually comedic
Trippy
timing.
and amazing.
That's trippy as hell.
But yeah, that
Um,
was a little spiel I wanted to put out. We're gonna get sponsored by BetterHelp after that.
BetterHelp.
But yeah,
I found out about BetterHelp in doing some research about them that they're not like a mental health company. They're like a tech company. Oh, we lost our friends. Bro, it's a drop. He is a drama queen. Drama queen. He dropped one drop on his sweater and it is the end of the world. One drop. That's insane. One small little drop. Come on. When's he gonna come back? It's been like the drama, you know? This is ridiculous. It was one drop. It like seriously. Lord. Are you good? Oh, he's still. Oh! I hear him.
there's tea stain.
No,
Oh, okay. It's
tea
water.
is water, bro.
Oh, thank you.
You made it worse. It was one little
Well, now there's
drop.
just more water on me.
No, that was
Yo,
ridiculous. That
This is from Urban Outfitters.
you were being a drama queen.
For those of y'all who know, Urban Outfitters will take your arm and your leg before you leave with the sweater. I cannot be saying this. Anyway,
You're not,
unless you'll watch this shit and fucking like it so we could profit so we can
bro. You're just being dramatic. You're a drama queen.
Okay.
That was ridiculous. It was so unnecessary.
Oh, it's not even staining. It's
It's
just
not.
water
I
now that
told
needs to
you.
dry.
Now you just fucking wet yourself, like all over.
Just a moment, folks.
Got, bro, drama queen, tier one drama queen over here, bro.
I'm gonna let that dry.
It was one drop. It was one drop.
It
I
was
saw
actually
it as he
three.
was walking around. It was one drop. It started off as one drop, and then you added more and more and more to
Let
it.
me be. It's one of those things you just gotta let me be.
You're dramatic as fuck. That was so not
I
necessary.
take pride in being dramatic. Well, I got scared. It's my favorite sweater. You ever buy something? Well, I just bought it a week ago and I love it. But you ever buy something I've worn that. I've been living in that sweater for a week. Um,
Yeah, and you've been living in a scarf. Last week he said he didn't like scarves. This week he came in somewhere back there, his scarf,
yeah, okay. There's a thing that I've been looking at. It's called oh fuck, what is it called?
indecisiveness,
No. It ends in an ism. It's a not televangel,
materialism.
not materialism.
Can
Wait
you
a
tell
minute. I need to look at a picture of my notes.
your phone is over there?
My phone is right here. I need to look at a picture of my English notes. Um,
What are you talking about? What?
bear with me. This is interesting.
It sounds interesting. I'm trying to like guess what it is. Ism, what other ism?
And I thought of
Classism,
you in something you said.
materialism.
Transcendentalism.
Oh, you've never heard
So
of this? Okay,
no, I've heard. I
good.
mean,
I want to
obviously,
talk
I
about
wrote it
this because
down.
there's a lot about
So part of
transcendentalism.
transcendentalism is you could wake up in the morning one day and say my
Yes.
favorite color is green, and you could wake up the next morning and say my favorite color is blue. The next morning, you're not subject to be any one person all of the time. You could change as much as you want. And I thought of the conversation I had with him, which is one of our older episodes, where he's like, "You change your mind so often on things, and you don't hold your ground." I'm like, "No, I don't, and I'm proud of it. It's okay." Like
What's someone we know, Kenneth. Kenneth.
Kenny
He,
Broom.
yes.
Okay, what's up, Kenny Broom?
Um,
GG's
he teaches a class. Um,
on transcendentalism.
yes,
What the fuck?
that we just completely
Why
missed.
didn't we take it?
It was his. Okay, your Kenneth, our dear friend Kenneth. Um, I text him every so often. My dear
Oh
friends.
well, okay,
I
good for.
text him every so often. I keep in touch. Um, our dear friend Kenneth is a English teacher at our former high school, and he taught a college extension course, and a lot of it dealt with the theme of transcendentalism. And he actually, one of the books that they read is like the tier one transcendentalism. That was like the book that founded transcendentalism. It's about this man living in a cabin, um, starts with T. I don't remember much about it, but I remember hearing about it because I know a lot of people that took that course. Um, no, no, I agree with it. I don't
Yeah, you
disagree.
could, your subjects to change your mind every day. So part of like my thing right now
Yeah.
as a person is self-acceptance and just self
Uh-huh.
like care. And another thing, I just shouted her out already, but another thing my mom told me that was very good advice was you have to own the parts of yourself that suck.
Yeah.
And because I don't know what I was saying. Oh, okay. I had a spiral over my social media presence.
Oh, yeah, because we talked about this literally as we finished recording last episode,
Mhm.
and we went on a walk after, and we talked about this a little bit. Did
Yeah, I
it
had a
spiral out of
spiral
that?
over my social media platform presence, and I'm at a time period in my life where I'm meeting a lot of new people. Not a lot of new people that I really do connect with, but it's bound to like
Eventually,
happen.
you will connect to
And I
someone.
have the realization that I'm not going to be a hermit for like my life will change. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
That's also part of my first point about not being depressed and working on not feeling that way.
Hmm.
Is I forget that we do kind of market ourselves as a mental soul bettering thing, and I
Yeah.
never touch upon it, but we can.
I mean, we do.
We do a
We
lot,
do in
but
a way.
I'm
We're
never
like
too
a,
direct.
yeah, never like,
Oh,
here is advice. It's more advice for ourselves, but like
it
it's
is.
applicable
But
to,
now I'll be honest, for me and for everybody, like to not be so depressed, you have to
hmm
realize that things will change.
yeah,
And to realize that things will change also involves a lot of fear regarding, oh my God, things will
yeah.
change. Am I a version of myself that will be good enough for things to change? And for some reason, I started using my social media presence
Hmm.
as something that a blockage in my head. Like, oh, look at the person I am on social media,
Okay.
messy. You could find a clip of me saying anything, really, probably somewhere. And I'm like, that's kind of who I am as a person too. I'm not very closed off. I'm not very
Yeah,
guarded. If you want to find something you don't like about me, you could
you
find it
could
in 5
probably.
minutes.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? And that scared me, but I realized like it's okay. You know what I mean? Is you don't owe anybody really
Yeah, you
anything.
don't have to.
I'm just gonna check see if
It's,
that's stained. Give me 1 second.
bro, this is,
Dude, promise me that tea doesn't stain.
tea doesn't stain.
Dude,
I promise you. We're gonna get some bitch in the comments telling us that tea stains. But no, tea doesn't stain.
He was right. He does nothing.
Tea is 99%
If I made a
water.
dark mark, it would come out with a stick.
Did you see how I made Do you know what tea is?
Oh, it's just like herbs mixed with
It's like
water. But why is it brown?
99% water.
Hmm.
Well, it's the herbs like giving off the color. And I mean, we put a little bit of sugar in, but like it's not gonna stain it.
Sugar doesn't really stain either.
Not really.
A little bit.
Like it can't like the only thing, I don't know. Maybe I don't even know. I don't think tea stains. I'm 99% sure. Maybe on like a white, like just a pure white surface.
Oh, but that doesn't. All I see now is the water that I put on it,
Yeah,
so it's probably okay.
it's probably fine. You were just being a little bit dramatic.
Yeah. Well, there's not, another thing. Nothing wrong with being dramatic. It's okay.
No, it's just like that was unnecessary. Like we could have lived with the tea stain for
I
a
couldn't. I
second.
was gonna tweak it. Also, I want to show everybody
D1
this is who I
tweaker.
am.
What?
This is who I am. Like we'll have it on camera. Me tweaking
D1
over
tweaker.
D1 tweaker. I was tweaking this morning because I left my house in a rush. I'm a big believer
Which I
lately.
asked you not to. Like I gave you
Whatever.
I gave you the option to not. I was working today and I was like, you want to come meet me after work? We'll grab like something to eat and then we'll do this. And
It
you
doesn't
were like,
matter. I was
sure.
determined to leave my
And we
house at 7.
run.
But I'm a big believer lately in waking up at 7 o'clock every day. Which is not early, but
Yeah.
I for me it's early because my last 2 years of my life I've been sleeping till noon almost every day unless I had work.
Hmm.
And even if I had class, it don't matter. Like I'd be sleeping till noon. And this term I decided to fix it. So I'm like I'll be up at 7 every day unless weekends I could sleep till 9, 10.
Yeah.
Didn't happen today. I got up at like 10:45. I wanted to get on a train at
You
like
did
11:30.
text me really late. You also like went to sleep early yesterday, did you not?
I slept for 12 hours last night.
Yeah.
I
Because I
did.
was like, you went to sleep at like 8. Because I texted you about something at like 8 and I didn't get a response. And usually you
I
respond more to me
respond
at
right away.
night.
Yeah.
I was like, either you were working, but then you would have responded to me later.
Or even I try to get back to you at work with a little
Yeah.
short little
Yeah.
can't
Well,
listen right
I
now
can't
type thing.
listen right now because I'm at
We'll
work
check
in the
soon, 9 hours
dungeons.
later,
Like,
and I don't even. But like, no, I slept for 12 hours last night, and the realization that
I've been doing the same thing though. I've been like
are you
sleeping
okay?
until,
Are you
yeah,
okay?
well, I'm fine.
Oh, well.
I've been sleeping in later than I wanted to, but then yeah, the other day I slept in. I had to leave at 7:45. I slept until 7:30. Woke up, got my shirt, and ran to the bus stop. My bus is like really close to me, but I was going to school.
10:45 and 7:30. That sounds fine.
When I woke up at 7:30 for 7:45.
Oh, you said
I need to leave.
10:45.
Oh, I
That would
meant
have given you hours.
no,
Oh,
I had to be on the bus at 7:45.
that
I woke up at
sucks.
7:30,
Wow.
even though I
Okay.
had an alarm set for like 6. I
Well,
love waking up super like way too early because I could never wake up.
TMI, but like I have some form of. Actually, I'm not. I'm gonna
Like,
stop myself here.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like insomnia. Is
I
that like
do
what?
have insomnia, but also I need to wake up early
Hmm.
because I need a minute to digest in the mornings.
Okay.
Every morning.
Okay. No, I
Um,
wake up super early just because I take forever to fucking get ready in the morning.
well, I have to shave every morning. That's part of my
Hmm.
thing. My shit grows really fast. Sometimes I have to shower. No, I'm kidding. You got to shower in the morning. Or if you're a night shower, I don't judge people who shower at night. A lot of people have beef with that.
I like showering at night.
And then get up and leave in the morning. There's
Yeah,
nothing unsanitary about that.
because I'm
People,
not doing anything after. Like, what the fuck? What is that sound? I don't know if the mics are picking it up.
sounds like a heater.
It sounds like the world's about to
We staying
explode.
warm in here.
Aliens.
Hope y'all are staying warm in this cold
Yeah.
January.
It's so cold. Why is it snowing every other fucking day
It
now
is one of the
in
coldest
New York?
winters on record. The summer of 23 was the hottest summer on record. So we're getting a lot of really extreme temperatures.
Yeah,
And
not good. Climate change.
I believe in it. I don't care. I'll say it.
I don't know. There's no. I hate people that are like, "Oh, I don't believe in climate change," because there's nothing to believe in. Like you could see it. Like, bro, your jacket is okay. Why are you so dramatic? Your
I
jacket's
check
fine.
on the jacket, y'all. Make sure the jacket was okay.
Like, it's all right. It's okay.
Okay.
But yeah, I hate people that are like, I don't believe in climate change because there's nothing to believe in. Go outside and look. Like,
Yeah, that's true.
like I get like, oh, I like believe in God, I believe in this guy, whatever. But like, I don't get this fucking denial of facts right in front of you.
Also, like, what does it hurt to accept it? It's like those things of like,
If anything, it's because what it is. I know exactly what it is, which is what we talked about, which is what you mentioned earlier on this podcast. It's the inability to look at yourself and say that you are flawed as a human. Because to admit that climate change is real is to
but
admit
dog, you
that
could
human,
still blame it on the government and everybody else. Like, why don't
because you are admitting that humans suck in
they
one
do?
form or,
What's wrong with that?
but
Like,
some people can't admit that
that's
because they
so
are human,
weird.
and
That
that
is
means they
really
suck.
such a thin line of thinking. I hate
I'm
it.
110%
No, you're
sure that
right,
that's
but
what
it's
it
so
is.
weird.
It's the inability to look into yourself and be like, hey, like, I'm not perfect.
Right. That's so fucking weird.
It's really weird, but I'm 110% sure that that is exactly what it is.
Probably, yeah.
Because I have never met someone that is has the ability to say that they are not perfect and also has the ability to say that climate change isn't real.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm
you're
like,
right.
those two things go hand in hand with each other. And part of what it is that like some people just can't admit that humans suck.
I'm stuck on something you said a second ago.
Okay.
Everybody you've met that admits that they're not perfect, dot dot, and put them in that category of non-climate change believers. Um,
I don't think we know anyone who actually doesn't believe in climate change in real life, do we?
yes, we do.
Who?
Um,
Who? Wait, who? Oh, I know who you're talking
we have a
about.
couple. I can think of a couple people.
I only could think of one. I only could think of one, and they live right next to me. What?
Um,
No, I was just confirming or denying that this is true. Okay.
well, I don't know enough about that, but
No, I agree with you.
I
With,
don't know. But the point I'm trying to make is I was still stuck on the other thing of people who cannot accept that they're not perfect.
yeah.
For some reason, I attract them like moth to a flame. I am I have found myself in several like moments of generational beef with
Hmm.
people who won't make concessions.
Okay.
And I think concessions are the most important thing to make, even in a conversation, whether or not it's an argument. When you're writing, when you're doing anything, make concessions.
Yeah.
And for
It's
this
like kill
English,
your darlings. That's what it's called.
what
That's
is
the
that?
term. Kill your darlings.
What does that mean?
Like it's like sacrifice things that are like important to you. It's a writing term. It's like when you're writing something, it's like you like let's say you wrote a story and
All
you
right.
really like this one part of the story, but it just like doesn't really work, but like it's your
Well,
favorite thing in the
you could even
story.
have it on paper. So there's many concessions in everything.
Uh-huh.
And there's a poem called The Fish that I was talking to you about by Elizabeth Bishop. I
Yes, you
don't
were
like
telling
the
me about.
poem, but now when I annotate poems,
Mm-hmm.
I do this marginal like thing for my class, and now I just do it for everything. Even when people
Yeah.
speak, I do it to them. Line by line, break it down.
Yeah.
Um,
Was it the final line about releasing the fish?
no, that's a concession in a sense.
That is a concession.
Okay, I'm gonna go quick.
Okay.
I caught a tremendous fish and held him beside the boat, half out of water with my hook fast in the corner of his mouth. He didn't fight, he hadn't fought at all. He hung a grunting weight, battered and venerable and homely. Here and there his brown skin hung in strips like ancient wallpaper, and its pattern of darker brown was like wallpaper. Shapes like full-blown roses, stained and lost through age. He was speckled with barnacles, fine rosettes of lime, and infested with tiny white sea. The poem's ass, but bear with me. I didn't write this. It's Elizabeth Bishop. White sea lice, and underneath two or three rags of green weed hung down while his gills were breathing in the terrible oxygen. So, right there is a concession. She's talking about fishing, and the second she says, while his gills were breathing in the terrible oxygen, boom, the fish should not be out of water. You made a concession. You admitted that you shouldn't be taking the fish out of the water.
Uh-huh.
And the reason I bring this up is because I think so many people, when they're speaking, his fish were filled, his lungs were filled with the beautiful oxygen,
Mm-hmm.
not my oxygen. My oxygen could never hurt the fish.
Yeah.
He should be out of water because it's my country, or like all those parents that raise their kids and the kid needs to go to therapy. Not my son.
Yeah.
I hate that shit. I don't understand people that just can't own up to their own,
And I
like,
mean, we know a lot of people that can't do that.
not my son. Like, bro.
Yeah.
Yes, your son.
Yeah. Which actually reminds me, I don't know if we want to talk about it, but I think in unpacking that, there is actually something that you told me about today, about an email. I don't know if we want to talk about this very vaguely.
I told you about an email that was sent to me.
Not to you,
To you?
about an email that was sent to someone that you know.
Go ahead. Go ahead. I think that's
Do you
hilarious.
know what you're talking?
Yes, I know what's
Okay.
going on. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I just don't know how to approach it without without exposing that we're
As long as you remain respectful to each character,
okay.
and then it doesn't matter.
Okay. So Matteo found out about an email and subsequently told me about it. But someone that we know, who like how was it? I don't even know how it's possible, but voice memoed in an email.
We were in college, all of us. This
You want to? I
man,
think you can explain
this
it better.
man, an old friend of ours, had an ex-girlfriend that he dated in high school. I dated that same person later in high school. There was obviously
Hmm.
tumultuous to date your friend's ex, which is something that I had done, but we had a fractured friendship, and there was a lot of different room for perspective, whether it be mine or his, that somebody would agree with, and it was interesting. I'll always remember it as one of my biggest like moments as in early
It is
teenhood,
interesting because neither party is necessarily
right
right
or
or
wrong.
wrong. So it's like the ultimate like you have to realize that neither one of them is perfect.
And that's even in the moment, my 15-year-old self was like, "Yeah, we're both wrong. I'm gonna do it anyway."
Yeah,
However,
which is part of that concessions thing.
I believe in concessions while doing things.
Yeah.
I'll have a wrongdoing and say, "Yeah, this is fucked up."
Yep.
Kiss the person, do the thing. Like I don't really
Yeah.
um because there's also memories to be made. Was it the right thing I had to do? No, but it took up 2.5 years of my life, that 2 years of my life, that relationship. I
Hmm.
would never regret years of my life unless they're contextual, in which case,
You
fuck them.
regret them.
Fuck them. I mean, yeah. But
Back to the email.
back to the email, this guy, this old friend of ours, dated this girl when he was a freshman in high school. In the summer of 8th grade, I believe. Dog, it needs to be let go. Let it go off your back like water. I let go of this person and I dated her like afterwards. You know what I mean? I dated her more close to where we are now in time, and I haven't thought of her in or speaking to her in a hot minute. You know what I mean? Like I don't have those thoughts. I don't understand what the thought process is. Anyway, they're blocked on it. She has him the first ex. I'm the second ex. He's the freshman one. She has him blocked on everything. So
Except email,
except email. So he emailed her a voice memo.
which is ridiculous. I didn't even know you could do that.
Me neither, checking in on her, which means he probably recorded it in a separate platform, attached it to email,
Exported like
exported it, might as well
re-
have ran it through Adobe and like
edited,
OBS and
polished
like
it.
right. And she sent that to a mutual friend and then it got back to me.
Yeah.
And I just
The
find
layers.
the layers. Now I think I told it, why did you bring it up? You want us to break this down.
Yeah, okay. It has to do with like um the word isn't condolences, was it?
What the
Concessions.
concessions, yes.
Concessions. Um and this person can't get the idea of perfection of this other person out of their head. Does
Thinking
that
the
make
person is
sense?
perfect.
Yes.
Person's not perfect. I I found out my
Person is
own
very
one.
much not perfect. But
No one's perfect. Well,
no one's perfect. That's part of the thing. But it's like years and years, and there's still something that keeps this person coming back.
in a way,
Like,
I sympathize with it because
why?
not with this person.
Okay.
Me and this guy both dated the girl that he emailed at different time periods. Just to
Yeah.
clarify, because I know this is confusing.
This is really confusing because we're not using names because we want to like
Right.
retain people's privacy. But like,
But we both dated her just because I dated her for longer than he dated her,
yeah.
but just because I didn't feel that in that relationship, like I ended it and I never looked back. Do you know what I mean? After a
Hmm.
while, like once it was really over, it was over. And I mean, we broke up and got back together a few times, but it was still a thing. Do you know what I mean? Like when it was really over, it was really over, and I never thought and I looked back. However, the feeling he has for this girl, or I
Has
don't know, I don't
existed
speak to
for.
him enough to really understand his perspective. I will say that, but the feeling that is here of always going back is a feeling I have for somebody else.
Hmm.
Just because I don't
It's like a
feel it,
Great Gatsby type.
just because I don't feel it for this person, and I don't understand why he still feels the need to reach out to this person. I don't see value in reaching out to her. Just because I don't see it.
Because you could admit that this person isn't. Like,
But I
that's where
have
the
that feeling for
concession.
somebody else. Do you know what I
But
mean?
can you admit that that person is not perfect?
The person is so far from perfect, and it's such a
Exactly. But
tragedy
you
that
could
that's the person that I still care about.
but you could admit that versus this person, I strongly believe. I mean, like again, we're speculating about this because we don't talk to this person enough to know what they really feel. But I believe that there's a notion in this person's head that this person is perfect. And Like he
It's
reached
not
out to
that
this
though. It's the
person.
youth of they were 14. What a time to be
You think
alive.
it's this impermanence as beauty thing?
It absolutely is. Also, the person he was in that relationship is the person he never got to be again. Or at least never felt like he was again. It's about self-worth too. Like people leave that your value doesn't stay tied to them. Also, a lot of times men in relationships feel like the quote unquote man. You lose your girl. Sometimes you don't feel like that way anymore. You know what I mean? There's
Hmm.
also a comfort to your first high school girlfriend. I don't have like again, she was also my first. Well, I had a situationship thing with my first community before I met any of you guys,
Hmm.
um, which ended up fizzling out because of how gross it got and how riddled with
Uh-huh.
like Staten Island. Uh,
White boy
well, Staten Island
cement.
had a drug epidemic,
Yeah.
and my first situationship was somebody I knew in middle school, and then early high school before I
Yep.
had gone to the same school as Nikita. Um, is somebody that went down such a bad path. So I don't associate it with that early high school innocence
Hmm.
thing because it was always gross and sad. Then the person we're talking about and I really do share this girl as a first
Yeah.
high school girlfriend, and I don't
But why did he?
really.
Okay. But
Mhm.
here's the thing. Why does he look back on that so fondly and you don't?
Well, think about it. I hopped into a relationship about a month after that ended.
Hmm.
He didn't.
I
I felt something more for somebody a month later. I don't think he felt more for anybody.
I don't think so. But I think what it is that he still considers this person as like because I don't know if you remember this, but
Yeah, because he can't concede with his own feelings.
like
It goes back to concessions. You're
mhm.
right.
You remember like because we knew this person remained in our life for so much longer after this relationship ended in some fashion or another. I mean, you would see them or whatever. Or whenever we would talk about this person, he would never be able to admit any flaw of this person.
He would also defend her when after I had broken up with her and become friends with him again, which is what you're talking about.
Uh-huh.
I would mention things that went on in that relationship, and he'd be like, "Well,
There's no way.
technically you're wrong." And I'm like, "Why do you have to defend her like she's yours? You know what I mean? She's not
Hmm.
mine. She's not yours. She's her own person. Let her be her
Yeah.
own person." And
There's a level of like you can't admit that this person's not perfect. I think the only place that um I think he struggles at actually saying that he can't, like, that she is not perfect, is this place of the other people that she has dated post
he could
him.
shit on her decisions with that. Yeah.
Because but here's the thing, he physically can't bring himself to shit on those decisions
Mm.
because that admits that she's not a perfect person. So the way he goes about
It's
it
about making fun of the guy.
is by never outright, but in a sense claiming that it was your fault for
Mm.
it wasn't
By
willing, it
blaming me
wasn't a
because I came
willing,
after and I
yeah,
ruined
it
his,
was
I
like
tarnished his.
it wasn't a willing choice that she went to you. It
Mhm.
wasn't willing, it wasn't willing that she went for this other guy after
Right.
there's a
Yes.
level of like she's not wrong for doing it, it's like
There's also an elephant in the room that I think you would
uh-huh,
like to, we can acknowledge. There's a level of, we were talking about people who own things. So I
uh-huh.
am a human,
Oh,
and
oh my
humans,
God,
this is good.
yes.
And humans don't believe in climate change. There are humans who don't believe in climate change because they can't accept that it's theirs, it's their planet. Do you think a lot of it too is he views this person,
As
she was
his.
mine, therefore she still is, therefore she has to be perfect because there was something that she had to do with me?
Yes,
Like an ownership. So
that's exactly what it is.
I wrote a poem, and I know, are we sick of me reading
Okay.
poetry on the show?
What?
Are we sick of me reading my,
Are we sick of it?
are you tired of it?
I don't think so. I mean, it's only been 48 minutes. Damn.
Which is about concessions to your making
Okay.
concessions with your youth.
Yes.
Don't make any. I mean, I could read it. I just read it, so it's a little vulnerable. But this whole episode be put me on. I'm a crackhead because I fucking stared at a sweater the whole time. Y'all know I'm crazy. Like,
Bro's been tweaking
I've been
about the
tweaking the
sweat.
whole time. I've been tweaking all day, but I'm not crazy. I hope we know this. The last episode is about me talking to ChatGPT. I'm still not crazy.
It's
Um,
like the videos are like, I'm crazy. I'm
crazy,
crazy.
Jesus Christ.
Like,
And then I had
send
a
it
whole
to you right now.
spiel about people should go to therapy, but still, it's good for you. This man should go to therapy also, that we just talked about first.
Oh, absolutely.
It's about making concessions with your
But I
youth.
love this.
If
I
you
think
think
this conversation is important
it's good,
because I
yeah.
feel like a lot of people are in situations like this.
There's a vagueness. This could be about either my youth, like
Okay.
before even high school
Okay.
person, or somebody in high school. But if you
Okay.
figure out who
Did
it
you
is,
write this
I
or?
did,
Oh,
yes.
okay. I thought you meant someone else wrote this
Oh, are we tired of
specifically.
my own?
No, no, no.
Oh, because I
I
could.
mean, I
But
thought you said that someone else wrote this. That's what
oh
I
no,
thought
I
this
wrote
was.
this, and
Okay.
if you do figure out, if you do think you know who it is, which I will never say,
Do you
because
know
they
who
don't.
this is?
I think I know who it's about, but it could also go to my
Okay.
anybody.
Yes.
But if you think so, don't make any allusion to who, because it's
Okay.
just not the point.
Okay.
Same way The Fish by Elizabeth Bishop isn't about a real type of fish. Anyway, it's called.
Fuck your English teacher for that.
Yeah, really.
What's her name?
Oh,
Shut her
I'm
up.
not gonna say it,
Oh,
but
okay then.
this is called Up.
Damn, what a loser.
I am a loser sometimes, yeah. This is called no, I'm not. This is called Up, Down, Left, and Right, and it
Okay.
sucks, but I wrote it in my notes app. So
It's giving Konami code.
up,
Do you know what
down,
I'm talking about?
left. No, what is that?
It's like a code that you could type into like an old like video game console and it would unlock something. It was like up, down, left, left.
Oh, well,
You
the
know
whole
that shit?
poem moves in fours.
Okay.
So yeah,
Just for you then.
we
Okay.
walked along the beaten, barely paved dirt road and off into our summer's trails.
Oh, I know exactly what the
You don't though.
I think so.
We did
I
not
think
look
you
either way before unfurling our springy sails. To our right was the road not taken. To our left was suburban Hollywood, now forsaken. Behind us lie bedroom neighborhood homes. Oh, where the fuck am I? Oh, doors attached by the smell of the spring morning in 2006, the ringing of a landline telephone, and the communal warmth that comprised our smartest pig's bricks.
okay.
But in front of us lie our summer's trails, a bag and a lifetime between us. Turtles wore red shells, black squirrels chased their tails, and storks stood tall, cleansing themselves of the previous fall. The storks stood tall only to allude to our four-armed divine protection. They watched my eyes hide from yours, up and down, left to right, section by section. Oh God, I don't want to read this next line.
Okay, skip it.
I'm gonna skip a line
Okay.
here. I'm gonna skip the first part.
Okay.
Graphic and potent, tender and gentle, yet always aligned with the yarns of our trails. Reversible yet permanent, a pothole on Highland, and a dent in my fender. Today you exist in fables told by ghosts, calls from old friends that go to voicemail, a desperate desire to go back that both sinks and floats. Those once close to us become auditors, existing in a medium that I could only reach when asking about you. I put my ear to the glass and hear whispers of your stagnant education and destructive use of medication. They say, I'm going to skip that one too. I'm told that pills have made you shallow and bloated like the empathy you lack, but there's a version of us that have yet to grow older, a version of us that could have gone up, down, right, or left, and a version of us that holds on to our summer's trails and August's breath. It's corny, but sometimes you have to.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, there's concessions to be made there, and the reason I said I hate doing that out loud, and I'm like, um, the line about the pills
Uh-huh.
and the empathy you lack
Yeah.
is what this person cannot do. Like you could look back and I could have said like, "Oh, the spell of the spring morning in 2006,
Yep.
communal warmth. How great was it?" And then I'm like, the
Was
point,
it?
yeah, it
Yeah.
was not great.
And I think um that's something that like this person we were talking about can't admit that like this other person is not perfect.
Right.
It's always like there's an like it was never said, but there's this underlying like she did not pick you. You made her come to you or whatever. Like and same thing about her new boyfriend and everything. And I don't know how to explain it because it was never like stated. It was more of like a feeling. I mean, it was sort of stated, but not in the word, in not in words.
Right.
Does that make sense?
What do you think his resentment towards me was?
Because you stole what is rightfully like like if I were to I don't know like what is something that is rightfully yours?
That sweater in the corner.
If I were to steal your sweater
Hmm.
and then come back here and sit in front of you on this episode wearing your sweater,
You could do that. It's
how
okay.
would that make you feel? No, come on, be for real.
Oh,
Oh, be for real.
I would be upset.
You would be upset.
Yeah, I'd be
The thing
upset.
is that unlike you, this person can't hide the fact that like it's upsetting. You know,
Why is it so upsetting to him though? If it's his, is that human? Is he right in this scenario? I bet
no, I
this.
don't think so because he's assuming that he's importing a sense of it's a dehumanization of this other person. You are
Mhm.
degrading this person to an object that is nothing is rightfully yours unless it is objectified. To say
Right.
something is mine is to objectify it. The only thing that is yours is
Yes.
your body.
Right.
Everything else is something that you claim, is an object that you take.
Okay.
Therefore, to say that this
Yeah.
is rightfully mine especially to say that this is rightfully mine, not even to just say this is mine, to say that this is something that was given to me that is that I am deserving of, is to put a sense of dehumanization on this person. It is
Mm.
to degrade, it is to
And objectify.
dehumanize.
Okay, I
It is
agree.
a being
So,
more than it is a body more than it is a human,
mhm.
you know? A,
That's true.
like
That's very true.
that's exactly what it is.
I
It
like
wouldn't
that.
be an issue if it was like if your jacket could stand up and come to me, it would be very different than if I were to walk over and grab that jacket.
Right. And he sees it as you walking over and grabbing it as opposed
Yeah,
to the jacket
as opposed to a jacket getting
and
up and
throwing
walking
itself
over.
on you. Okay. Um,
That's the issue.
Now another, so this brings up just like relationships in general.
Okay.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Uh-huh.
I don't believe in locations being on in a relationship. I could be so wrong.
Okay.
I mean, there's no right or wrong because it depends on the boundaries in
Yeah.
somebody's really. In my relationships, I don't want somebody's location.
Hmm.
I don't want them to have mine. Um, I also don't want to see whoever I do decide to date next.
Okay.
Maybe I want to see them all the time. I don't know. I don't think I've ever genuinely like felt what you're supposed to
Yeah.
feel, right? So like, it's time I'll put that to the test. But I think like it's okay to have a relationship where you only see somebody 3 times a week
Yeah.
and don't have their location and call it at night and just like I don't know. I think there's this our modern dating culture puts an emphasis on possession
Hmm.
that I don't really agree with. I think you should have separate lives that
I don't
come
know if the
together for
location is necessarily a possession though. I don't know. It's more like how I view it is just like I want
safety.
to yeah, it's like I want to know like where you are, not because it's like I'm gonna go to this place and see. It's just
Hmm.
more of like okay, you're traveling like somewhere, like God forbid I don't hear from this person. It's like I know where they last were, like I know what might have
It
happened.
makes sense.
It's more of a
Yeah.
safety concern versus like, oh, I want to actually like I'm gonna check it all the time. I never check it. In
Hmm.
fact, I only check it if I'm like oh, this
Worried.
person's like coming may
Oh, right.
like to me. It's like where are they? Or like that's kind of the only time I've checked it outside of like just like I don't know, like
Maybe you're right.
alerts.
I mean, I
It's more of just a
concessions. I'm gonna
safe.
make a concession with that because I'm also thinking through a time period in my life
Hmm.
where most of my relationships were with people who didn't go anywhere. I didn't need their location. They didn't work.
Yeah.
They didn't do shit. They were never in any risk of any danger. We were
Hmm.
also younger, so there was more people to take care of them. Maybe as you get older, it makes
Also, like you
sense.
see the person more, like you used to see the
Now
person
you
more.
get older. So also, I something I want to say that goes against my
Hmm.
original point. A friend of ours shared her location with me, and
Yes.
for a safety reason. And this is somebody who she says 3 people should have my location at all times. You are one
Hmm.
of them. And something about it felt so intimate and sweet. And I just felt so like, you know what I mean? Like I
Yep.
thought that was really nice. I was
Yeah.
just like, that's a really good friendship gesture. So maybe it is a nice thing. I don't know. I'll take location
It's
out
not
of my original
like
point, but I still think possession in relationships is a big deal,
yeah, no, that's a big deal,
a
and I
big
don't think
problem.
that's right.
Hmm.
No, but the location thing's interesting because I mean, like, I have my location given to a few people,
Hmm.
some of which I don't like super talk to, but it's like also just because like it doesn't matter. It's like I know that this person's not gonna like run and chase after me, but I also know that like if something were to happen, I'm
It's good to
pretty
have at
sure
least a
this
couple people,
person,
right? Is it
yeah,
Vlad?
what?
Is it Vlad?
Vlad has my location.
Do I have? I don't think
Yeah, you
so.
do.
Oh, I do.
Yeah, you do.
Do you? I,
I've never had yours except for like when you do the live location thing to find each other. We've done that a few times because
I
we'll be in
don't.
like
There's not a
dumbfuck
soul on
mode,
my on this planet who has my location.
except you sometimes.
Sometimes,
You don't even know where you are sometimes.
most of the time lately, no. Not a soul on the planet. I wonder if like the way I live, so
Mhm.
like
It's just more of like admitting that like if something oh okay. It's more just so like admitting that like if something were to happen or whatever, someone can find me. You know?
I do like that.
It's like yes, I might not speak to them, but I know that like worst case scenario, I can call them and they'll find like they'll be able to find me. It's just really weird. I would go through the list of people, um, but because it would expose names, because I
Hmm.
don't think there's a way to say these people
Well, how
without.
many people have your location? I can figure it out right now.
I don't know.
3?
No, 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 more, I think. Let's see. Let's see. It would be
Oh,
my
I could
Snapchat
think of 4
looking.
that would have your location. Counting me, I can think of
Okay,
4.
let's see. I want to see who has my location. I don't even know, honestly, because I just don't change it. Okay, it says 5 people. One, two, three, four, five.
Is it only on Snapchat?
Yeah.
Oh, so that gets rid of 1. I was thinking of somebody who doesn't have Snapchat in your life.
Who?
Yeah, adult.
Like parents?
Yeah, parents type thing.
No, 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 they don't have the location. I
Hmm.
only have location sharing through Life 360
This is empty.
and Snapchat. And that list overlaps. Okay, you got three of the people that have my location. The other two you're never gonna guess because it's people that I don't even
I
speak
already
to on
guessed
a
three,
daily
right?
basis. Yes.
Okay. Um,
It's two people that I don't speak to on a daily basis.
Phil,
No,
Lawrence,
no.
give me a hint.
Um, one of their names starts with an A and the other one starts with an M. And they know each other. They're friends with
A.
each other. They're younger
Did I
than
not
us.
already? Oh, Ardita and
Hmm.
Michaela.
Yeah. They're the only two other people that have my location.
Okay, that's cool.
That's and I don't speak to them on a daily basis, but I know damn well
That they would take care of you
that
24 hours.
if something were to happen,
That's fucked up. No, that's so fucked up. Because imagine you're in some danger,
uh-huh.
and Ardita, if you guys don't know,
You guys don't know who these
they're
people are,
like
but I know for sure. It's really
they're your
funny, but
saviors.
I
That's
know
so
for
fucked.
sure that it's part of it also has to do with the fact that like these are people that I know if I really had to call, they would pick up the phone.
I love that. How many people in your life do you know if you really had a struggle?
Let's go through my
Are you okay with
contacts.
the number of people you have?
What?
Yeah, right. Are you?
I think so. Because I don't know, maybe it's just because I've never okay, let's
You've
see.
never
Let's go
needed.
through my contacts. One of them is a person that I don't speak to. The other one, I don't even know who this is. The other one is another person we don't speak to that has a lot of acne.
God, bro. Fuck.
Because I'm trying to like identify these people. The other one is I don't even know who this is. The other one is my boss. The other one is a person I did a show with. The other one's a person that would probably kill me if they had the opportunity to. These are
Wait, is this
only
your location?
no, this is name. I'm going down to my phone contact list of people that I could call and would pick up the phone.
Oh, okay.
This person would probably pick up the phone, but they would kill me before they would save me. Another person, it's someone that I worked with. Another one's someone that I worked with. This person is someone that I worked with. Most of these are people that I've worked with, I'm not gonna lie. Um, yeah, most of these are people that I like, I don't know. Um, yeah, I have like someone's phone number in here like seven times. I have your brother's phone number. It's like
He'd probably
I have the
not pick up
doctor's phone
if you
number.
called him.
I have
The doctor.
the doctor, the SNL doctor.
How are we on time?
How are we on time? It's an hour and 2 minutes. So I think we're honestly good to end. We've just been kind of like
Okay, yeah, we
venting,
we
not
went
like
from my old relationships and their
Les
exes
Mis.
to a shitty poem that I wrote. Did you think it was shitty, be honest?
No, it actually wasn't bad. I think I know who the person is, but
I left a lot of lines out for,
yeah, and I
I
still
couldn't
think I
read
figured
them.
it out. It's okay.
You still think you figured it out?
I still think I know exactly who the person is.
Um,
Mostly because there's like the list of people that you would write a poem about is like four. Um,
well, it could be somebody you've never met. There's one person that I would write about that I don't speak about or you've never met.
yeah, but I don't think it's this person.
All right, bro. There's a reason I'm creating a lack of clarity here. So it
I
could
know.
be,
Oh,
oh,
obviously, but I just don't think it's this person. There's one other person that I
it's that
think
person or the other, or yeah, it
there's
could
two
be
people that I'm
that it
thinking
could be
of
about. Correct.
that it could be
Yes.
about, and I'm pretty sure it's about one over the other, but I could see it being about this other person as well. But
Well, we went
we will
from
never know.
Pete Davidson to Kanye West
To Les
to
Mis,
how whacked out I am. We've also uncovered today because of my
to
sweater.
tweaking, to
Um,
Harry Potter, to
Hope you guys enjoyed.
oh, okay, we weren't just gonna list topics for this episode.
No,
Oh, okay.
but we hope you guys enjoyed.
We hope y'all enjoyed. We will see y'all next week. Unless y'all catch us in these clips that we've been posting. We've been posting clips like crazy. There's been a clip a
That's
day.
trippy as fuck. That's so
What?
trippy.
That's really trippy because we're recording this before we post
That's
a
so
single
trippy.
clip. But I'm telling you, by the time this episode comes out, we're gonna have mad clips out.
I'm gonna put a buy me a coffee thing in my bio. Please buy me a coffee.
Buy him a coffee. You could buy me a coffee. You could buy
All
both of
right.
us a coffee.
Good
Buy
night.
us several
Good
coffees.
night, babies.
Good night and good luck.
Good night, babies.
Bye
We love
bye.
you.